Welcome to page 112
with
Simon and
Ange with an A. Created by Shawn the Book Maniac.
Hello, you're watching BookTube with Simon. It's like somebody got the best bits of all the other YouTube channels, gathered them together, threw them in the bin, and this is the carcass of all the rubbish that's left, crammed into one terrible channel. Today we're going to be doing the page 112 tag and the page 112 tag with Ange with an E, my sister from another mister in Sunderland. If you're not familiar with this tag, then what happens is we send each other 3 pictures of page 112 from 3 different books. We each read those pages and discuss our thoughts on the book based on this 1-page snippet. When I was doing this, it actually reminded me of being at school. I don't know if you guys had to do it because I'm ancient, but when I was at school you got a passage out of a book. They called it close reading, and you had to read like this little bit and then answer recall questions or say, you know, why do you think Timothy picked up the fairy liquid and whatever. And it reminded me of that because I remember when I was doing it, I wanted to know what happened next. There was no, you know, context from before and no solution to afterwards. It was just this one little bit, and you always want to know how it finishes up. And they would tell you actually what book it was from, but I mean, you never remember, do you? So anyway, that's what I was thinking of. I was looking at the 3 pages from Ange. So here are my thoughts. The first extract, page 112 of this book is, we see a 17-year-old girl called Eve. She's been grounded or told to stay at home by her dad, and she's not sure why. He's not telling her why. She gets a phone call from a friend of hers who's normally quite meek and mild, yet is now seemingly vivacious and full of life, and she's stopped being sick and recovered from what she says is a virus. So yet again, here we are trying to get a bit of distance from the situation that we're in, trying to get a bit of escapism, and we're starting off with a stay-at-home order and a virus. So again, thanks. I'm really intrigued as to why this has happened. Is it some sort of virus that changes your behaviour? Is Ange a secret anti-vaxxer? I don't know. But I do get the impression that there's something going on that the dad knows about. He's trying to protect Eve. But what I don't know is why he just doesn't tell her this. And this is something that happens all the time in books where characters hold stuff back for annoying reasons, such as I didn't want to worry you, and actually they just there's all these unintended consequences where Eve might well just climb out of the window and go on this shopping spree that she wants to go on because she's not aware of the risks. So I really am interested to find out what this book is about and what's happening there. The second page 112 that we have is it starts off as being about a miners' club. It seems this woman has moved into a street, I think in Glasgow. She's moved into a street and the neighbours are welcoming her, I think, with a big a big tea mug of straight vodka, just having a smoke and watching some dogs mark the territory outside. So it seems to me like what would happen at the start of a book, not page 112 of a book, which makes me wonder if the arrival of this character, maybe a quarter of the way into the book, is going to change something. Maybe there's been a section of plot that is now, this is going to shake things up and be a bit of a catalyst for the next act of the book, perhaps. I don't know. It's a difficult one. It's hard to get much out of it. but it strikes me as odd that this sequence is happening so far into the book. Makes me wonder what impact the arrival of the neighbour is going to have. She's also smoking a brand of cigarettes that the neighbours are clearly impressed by. They said it's like the Queen of England moving in. Which makes me wonder again if she is perhaps someone who's come from a bit of money and now she's on a council estate, if something's happened, if she's running away from some sort of terrible situation, or what's going on there. So that's the second one. And then the third book number 3, page 112, is blank. Of all the books in all the world, why would you choose one with a blank page 112? But to be fair, Ange has sent me page 113, so this is now the page 112 and a half challenge. And it seems like this is a woman who is at her daughter's bedside and has been at her daughter's bedside in hospital for some 30 years, and it's clearly been a very difficult time for her. The text is in italics as well, so I'm not sure if this is a flashback or if the whole book is in italics. There's not a lot of words on the page, so it doesn't look like it's a standard novel. But clearly there's a very difficult situation for the mum. It doesn't seem like there's much chance of recovery for the daughter if this has been ongoing for 30 years. What has happened to the daughter is the obvious question, and what's going on with the mum. Why, not why is she going there, because I think we know why she's going there, but what impact has that had on her life, and why is she now thinking about it? If this is a flashback, because it's in italics, is there a reason that she's specifically thinking about the fact that she's been doing this for 30 years? Has there been a sequence of events that's led up to this being exposed? Maybe people around her don't know about her daughter. Maybe her daughter has actually since passed away or something like that, and she's just sort of coming to terms with it. So it's clearly a really emotional experience for the character, and again, I'm highly intrigued.
Right. We're recording. Don't swear.
Unlike Amy.
Terrible. Terrible.
So, book number 1.
Yes. So I actually really liked the sound of book number 1. I'm really intrigued by it.
It wasn't until you read it that I realised that it sounded like lockdown.
Yeah, bit of escapism, thank you. No, I think it's of the 3 the one I'm most interested in.
Oh, interesting. It is The Radleys by Matt Haig.
I love Matt Haig. Oh, fantastic.
Well,
I've never heard of it.
I think it might be his 4th book. It's from 2010. I'm a little concerned after I watched your video where you've trashed Twilight, because it is about vampires.
It's about vampires, isn't it?
That it's about vampires, but it's about a couple who are vampires, but they live in suburbia and have 2 teenage children, and so it's sort of like a mystery.
It doesn't
around
look like
them.
a vampire book. I would never have picked up and thought vampires.
It's got it's like a twist on a vampire tale.
I really like that. I mean, I like urban noir. Like, I like The Couple Next Door and Gone Girl and all these sorts of things. So, if it's plus she'll bite your neck and suck your blood, that's fine. I'm good with that. I think
it's got a bit of a mystery in. So, yeah, that's why I picked that one, because I knew as well that you'd been wanting to read the Midnight Library, and you'd mentioned another Matt Haig book, so that's why I picked that one off my shelf.
Amy just finished the Midnight Library. She said it was excellent.
I started it, and then I think I got distracted because I was doing the Crime and Punishment thing at the same time.
No, so I haven't read that yet. I don't know if I qualify as an actual reader if I haven't done Crime and Punishment or War and Peace, and I feel like you're not really a reader until you've actually taken the film off these. So I might have to crack on with that at some point.
Crime and Punishment to me is more like a mystery. You sort of, who's done the murder, but it is still sort of like, are they going to catch him sort of story. Book number 2.
Okay.
Set in Glasgow.
It sounded like it's set in Glasgow. It sounded rotten.
It sounded rotten.
Yeah. This is awful because like sometimes when you generally do your anti-TBRs, you make trash books that people like, but you have specifically sent me this, and I'm specifically telling you it looks really boring.
So you don't want to read the Booker Prize winner of 2020, Shuggy Bean by Douglas Stewart?
Do you know, Kieran from KD Books had a really interesting reaction to this. I don't know if you saw it. And he was talking about how he didn't think that Shuggy Bean should have won because the Booker Prize is great at bringing books that wouldn't have been mainstream to public attention. But he reckons that Shuggy Bean would have been fairly mainstream anyway.
It was on my radar before it appeared on the long list and things like that, but it's one of my favourite books ever.
Favourite books ever? Well, how representative do you think page 112 was of the book in general?
I think that it is. That's the style that it's written in. And I think you mentioned that you felt like that should have been the beginning. And some people have said that it took a long time for the story to get started because the beginning is a lot of scene setting and explanation.
So bored waiting for something to happen though. Like, if something hasn't happened by page 4, I get a bit fed up.
Okay then.
But it's
maybe give it
a
miss.
You clearly think it's worth it if you get past the scene setting. So was this a neighbour moving in to the area?
Yeah, basically that was the part where Shuggy's family moved from sort of the centre of Glasgow to sort of the sticks and all, or like an estate that's next to a mine that's been closed down, and it's supposed to be sort of a new start for them. But it doesn't really turn out that way. I don't think that's a spoiler. So they've sort of moved to this new place. And it's about his mum sort of meeting the neighbours.
What do you like about it?
Think about
what do you like about it? What do you like about Shuggy?
I think the realism of it, because I was a child of the 80s and I can remember women that I hope were just drinking tea. I didn't realise there was vodka in them cups when I was a child. But the realism of living through sort of the Thatcher years and the deindustrialisation of some of the big cities that went on, I think he captures that really well.
Have you been to Glasgow?
I have. Once we came up to see the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and it was one of the best gigs we've been to just because of the Scottish people.
We're nice. We are very nice. I don't know if you've ever seen Kevin Bridges talk about Glasgow.
Oh yeah, we love watching him.
But he said that Glasgow is the friendliest city in the world. Or no, Scotland is the friendliest country in the world, but Glasgow is the knife capital of Europe, or something like that. So he concluded that you'll get stabbed, it will give you directions to the hospital.
Yeah. Well, see, we'll go to Edinburgh because it's closer. It's just up the main line, isn't it?
You can't read a book about Glasgow and say that's a bit like Edinburgh. That's like me saying you're from Manchester. That's
but, ridiculous. If we go to Scotland, I do like the borders. We do cross the border quite a bit to go to places.
Well, when the zombie apocalypse is over, feel free to come back.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to show our passport to get in.
Maybe. You never know.
Book number 3.
Yes, I'm interested in the fact it's in italics because I'm not sure then whether that was part of the plot as now or whether it was flashback or whatever, but I'm intrigued to find out about it.
The Other People by C.J. Tudor.
Oh, I love C.J. Tudor. She's great.
That's why I added it in.
She's a wee legend. Oh, I'm really happy with that now.
Because you were having a fanboy moment about her, weren't you, in one of your videos?
I don't know. I think it's the fact she's got that short, spiky hair. It just makes her so cool.
But that bit's in italics because it is from different people's perspectives. And and it's, I think, one of just our thrillers. It kept
I
me
got that in
entertained.
my Chronicle book box recently, so I'm definitely have to read it.
Yeah, you need to read that one. I won't say anything because it's a book that if you start talking about it, you'll spoil it, and you don't want to do that to a thriller.
That sounds like stuff happens straight away, though, like twisty stuff. I like that.
Yeah, and the plot twist.
You want to like chapter 1. Doof, 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 doof. That's, you know.
The plot twist is a plot twist where you then have to go back and reread something because you think, how did I miss that?
I'm excited to read that now. That is excellent. Thank you very much. I might have to give Shuggy McBain a try then, because if I like the first one, I like the third one, then I'm just going to take you at your word. But if I pour months of my life into wading through that and nothing happens, be warned. I know you live.
Anyway, so I definitely have 2 new books on my bookcase, possibly an award-winning third book. If you've read any of them, please comment below your thoughts. Let me know if you think I would like them based on what you know of me and my reading. And more importantly, please check out Ange with an E's channel. Her Vlogmas installment for today has us in reverse roles, where Ange becomes me and I become Ange, and you can see how we got on with my picks for her. So check out Ange with an E's channel, and you should also check out Shawn the Book Maniac, because this whole tag was his idea. He's the creator, and so you should definitely check out him and see what he's been doing with it, and take it from there. So thank you very much to both Ange with an E for taking part and Shawn the Book Maniac for starting this off in the first place. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next video. Bon voyage.
I can't believe you don't want to read Shuggy Bane. Call yourself a booktuber.